Today's episode of the WAC Podcast is brought to you by Hercules Tires, the official tire of the Western Athletic Conference. Now here are your hosts, Eric Danner and Rachel Vigil.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the WAC Podcast. Eric Danner and Rachel Vigil breaking down the end of the semester, the end of the year sports that we've got going on. Eric, you were at the softball tournament this past weekend. Congratulations to Seattle U on winning their second championship and 2 in a row pretty much.
Yeah, congratulations to Geoff, Hirai, who we'll talk to in our second segment, on winning their second consecutive WAC Tournament championship. Like we talked about last week, Rachel, it was a very good tournament, very competitive. Somehow we didn't go into extra innings in any of the games, but a lot of one-run games. We had an upset right off the bat. Utah Valley knocked off New Mexico State, and then, of course, New Mexico State then had to go through the losers bracket, I'm saying with air quotes here, to get back to the championship, which they did. Grand Canyon played Seattle U in the first game, another one-run game, and then had to play New Mexico State. So they get bounced after 2, playing the 1 and 2 seeds. Utah Valley then plays New Mexico State in the bottom bracket after they lost to Seattle U, who then advanced to the championship. New Mexico State wins, and another, two really good teams there, Rachel. And Seattle U jumped out to a pretty good lead on championship Saturday, but New Mexico State came back, and 18 freshmen on that team for the Aggies. So that team will be back, no doubt about that. But what a great tournament it was, and congratulations again to the Redhawks, who have 6 super seniors on the team, meaning they were seniors last year, came back to play another year. And Carly Nance had the tournament like she did the year before, or 2 years before, where she's the MVP. Only had 2 home runs coming into the tournament, hits 3 during the tournament, and was the ace on the mound for Seattle U, who has pretty much 3 different pitchers they can go to, but Carly emerged as a go-to pitcher there as well. So what a great tournament. I don't need to knock on wood anymore. Didn't have rain in Seattle this past week. So we were worried about that, just with the reputation. Everybody told us there, hey, just because we have this reputation, it rains all the time, doesn't mean it rains all the time. And it was beautiful, 70, 72 degree weather. And even at night, even after the sun went down, it was still pretty warm. And what a great job the folks at Seattle U did hosting this tournament. And then they get the Redhawks as the champion as well.
Well, huge congratulations, like you said, to Carly Nance. She's 2-time MVP consecutive, and that's the only time in conference history that's happened. So huge shout out to her. Then you mentioned the rain, Eric, and you didn't have any rain. However,
I didn't think you'd have to worry about rain, Rachel.
I was down in Edinburgh, Texas, and we experienced a storm unlike any other. Everybody down at UTRGV told us that they had never really experienced a storm like that because it's really hard for it to build. Because it just
let's back it up a little bit, Rach. So Thursday, when we were looking at the forecast before you went down, Thursday, it looked like rain the whole time. But you had good weather Thursday and good weather Friday, right?
We had beautiful weather both days. Friday got a little hot. The humidity kind of kicked in and it was a little toasty. I got a sunburn. But Thursday, beautiful weather. It would get a little toasty and then it would cool off really nicely. And it was fantastic. But yeah, then we go on to Saturday, championship day. We're getting ready to start up. And here comes the rain, and it downpoured. We got evacuated because of tornado warnings. It was just crazy. They had to use blow dryers, the stuff the dryers they use to push grass off after they mow the lawns. They were using those to get the water off of the track. There was standing water. We couldn't do our broadcast because all of our cords were underneath the water, and we didn't want to try and set them up and electrocute somebody. Right. It was crazy. We did get a broadcast going though. We did on Facebook Live. Huge shout out to Brian Smith and Jonah Goldberg for, just kind of rolling with the punches, and they were having to talk extra loud into the mic in the iPad so we could use it. But I'm glad the parents got to see it, and that's all that really matters. But yeah, totally different situation than what you had.
You were there a little later than expected because of those delays, right?
Yeah, I got back to my hotel at 12:30, and I had to be up at 4:30 for my flight the next morning. So I was a little tired, needless to say, but after the storm passed, we had gorgeous weather. So totally different than anything I've ever experienced, but also a lot of fun.
And I was told that was the first tornado warning in that area in 11 years. So it's not typical of that area either. And they don't get a lot of rain, but I guess when they do, it's pretty substantial.
Yeah, and I seriously just couldn't believe like how fast everything flooded. And that was one of the major talking points they had was, their drainage system isn't used to getting a ton of rain. So for something like that to happen and to have the thunder that like stuck around and lightning was just totally like unexpected for Texas. So,
And then
but we made it, right?
Grand Canyon coming away with the trophies, right?
Yep, Grand Canyon came away with both of them. Huge congratulations to them. They had a pretty substantial lead for most of the championship, so it was great to see. And a lot of people were trying to go for records and everything. And huge shout out to all of them for rolling with the punches too, and having to wait till the evening to run at 7:00 at night and just kind of going with the flow. But yeah, huge congratulations to GCU.
Maybe it was an omen because Coach Flood is the coach for Grand Canyon. Maybe that meant something.
Oh my goodness. I wish I would have cracked that joke at him now, but yeah, he walked away
too soon probably on that.
Oh my goodness. That one is definitely funny. And Eric, we had another championship actually for a school who's not technically a part of the WAC yet, but is technically a part of the WAC, and that's Sam Houston State.
Yeah, congratulations to the Bearcats on winning the FCS National Championship. Sam Houston State, one of the great FCS programs in the country. They're going to be in the WAC next year, so we're very excited about that, Rachel. And they beat South Dakota State for the national championship on Sunday. And my phone's blowing up. I'm getting all these texts. Hey, is Sam Houston? Is that the one that's joining the WAC? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got a national champion coming into the conference, so we're very excited about that. Not only adding football, but adding football at that level. And it was a very good game, great game. It came right down to the wire, Rachel, where there was a touchdown by the Bearcats with under a minute to go that won the game for them. So yeah, we're very excited to have football back in the WAC and welcoming in a national champion.
Oh, we love to hear that. Yeah, we need to put that in our Twitter bio for sure. I was on a plane when the game was going on, but I got on Twitter once we landed and saw all the excitement. So huge congratulations to them. I'll have to go back and watch some of the highlights now because that sounds pretty intense.
Actually, I saw a replay of it last night again on ESPNU. So I don't know how many times they're doing it, but it was on ABC, so it's big time, audience watching it. And then they replayed it on ESPNU, I know, yesterday. So it might get replayed again a time or two so people can check that out. Keeping along the lines of football, Rachel, a sad story to report in that Colt Brennan, who held a number of WAC passing records, passed away this past week at the age of 37. University of Hawaii quarterback. Anybody who remembers the Rainbow Warriors from back in that era in the mid 2000s, they'll remember Colt Brennan. He was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy twice, finished third, finished sixth for the Heisman, was a 2-year player there, and actually started out his career at the University of Colorado. And back when I was a reporter / sports anchor guy, I went up to spring practice, and there was a guy from Colorado Springs where I was anchoring that was in competition to be the starting quarterback at CU. So I did a story on the starting QB possibilities for the Buffs, and it was Colt Brennan, Eric Greenberg, who was from Colorado Springs, and then Joel Klatt was the third guy who people didn't know much about because he had played minor league baseball. And of course, Joel Klatt wins the starting job and goes on to be a 4-year starter for the Buffs, and now is a Fox Sports analyst, probably one of the best analysts in all college football. Colt transfers to a junior college and then to Hawaii, and Eric Greenberg stuck around for a couple of years and then didn't finish his career playing football at CU. But anyway, just a sad story there. Well, he had some substance abuse issues, talking about Colt Brennan, and just sad to see somebody pass away at that age. But what a great player he was in the WAC.
17 WAC records, and our thoughts and condolences go out to his family as well. Yeah, sad story, but we'll look ahead now to baseball with this coming up next week. We have the baseball tournament in Mesa, Arizona. I cannot believe we're saying that, Eric. That's crazy.
I can. It's a whirlwind.
Oh my goodness.
Final week of baseball action. We have 4 series going on, and it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they have an extra day to travel to the tournament this week. And what a series we have, Rachel. We're going to have Grand Canyon and California Baptist, 2 teams tied for the WAC championship regular season right now, and they get to play the last series of the season.
The pressure is on the line. I cannot wait to see who gets that title. And for anyone who hasn't been keeping up, CBU is not allowed to participate in the tournament this year. They're not eligible with their transition rules. So GCU has automatically taken the top seed in the WAC tournament, which huge congratulations to them as being the top seed. But I cannot wait to see who's going to win the regular season title.
So we have that matchup, and then the 2-3 seed for the tournament is up in the air now between Sacramento State and UTRGV. Guess what? They get to play each other this week as well. So they should be able to determine who's 2 and who's 3 out of those two teams. New Mexico State's already locked in at number 4. We have Northern Colorado is going to travel to Dixie State. And then the other matchup is going to be Seattle U against Utah Valley. Now, Northern Colorado, Seattle U, Utah Valley, all vying for the 5-6 spot. One team's not going to be in the tournament. One team's going to be the 5, one team's going to be the 6. So another thing to check out. So you want to see the WAC Digital Network Thursday, Friday, Saturday to see who's going to be going to Mesa.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And then last week, Eric, we had Gabe Leisen on. He's the men's golfer from Utah Valley. And let's talk about him real quick because he's headed to the NCAA Regionals after having a terrific game the other day.
Great conversation we had with him last week. If you want to check that out on the archives, Gabe Leisen went to Washington, his home state, to finish out his career. He shot a 1-over-par 72 in the first round of the NCAA Regional being played there in Clay Elum, Washington. So as we do this segment here, Rachel, I'm sure he's on the course right now, but best wishes for a good finish for Gabe in the NCAA Regionals.
I know, so exciting for him. And then we also had New Mexico State. The team won the championship for the WAC, and they're out there in Albuquerque. And Garrison Smith is doing a phenomenal job representing the Aggies as well.
Garrison Smith shoots a 1-under-par in the first round of the Southwest Regional, which is being played in Albuquerque, so not too terribly far from Las Cruces there. So Oregon is leading there, and New Mexico State, what a great chance for them to finish out potentially the season not too far away from home. And Garrison Smith, one of the best golfers in the WAC, showing why, shooting that 1-under on day one.
It has been so much fun watching all of these athletes compete in all the different sports that we've had this season. And I cannot believe that next week we're going to be having our last WAC podcast, and then we head on to baseball, Eric. So it's been so much fun. I can't believe we're here.
Last WAC podcast. We'll be doing
for
this
the year, for the athletic season. We will be back in the summer, everyone. Don't worry. Every Monday or Tuesday, you'll hear from us. Don't worry.
That is true. And a busy summer ahead of us too, Rachel, because with football being added, we're looking at what we're going to do for a football media day this summer. Also, we add that to the mix with our other fall sports that just ended. We're going to have soccer and volleyball back again. Then we just got through with those a week or two ago, it feels like. So it's going to be, as we said, a whirlwind of action. And before you know it, the fall sports will be back.
Next up, we have Geoff Hirai from Seattle University. Make sure you listen on to that part. And congratulations to the Redhawks again on winning the WAC championship.
Hercules Tires is the official tire of the Western Athletic Conference, and for over 65 years has been providing tires with unbeatable quality at an unmatched value. Whatever the vehicle and whatever the terrain, Hercules Tires invites you to ride on our strength. For a retailer near you, visit HerculesTires.com.
Welcome back to the WAC Podcast. Eric Danner and Rachel Vigil, now joined by Seattle U softball coach Geoff Hirai. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great. Just getting prepared for this weekend.
I would imagine, Coach. Once again, congratulations on winning the WAC softball tournament. Had a chance to be on a call with you last week as we're getting ready to do the broadcasts, and we knew it was going to be a tough tournament with only 4 teams in the WAC qualifying for the tournament this year, and you wouldn't get a break, and it played out the way I would think that you wanted it to. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we knew it was going to be a battle. We all know each other very well. All the teams there were fighting for it, and we just got lucky enough to come out on top. And I think the experience that we have on our team kind of helped us get through that.
Coach, how sweet was it to win in front of your home crowd?
It was pretty special, for sure. them yelling and screaming and starting chants and all that. It was a special time. It was my first year we hosted, and it was definitely not like that. So with COVID going on in the pandemic, to have that atmosphere for our players was very special. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, I was looking back at some of the broadcasts, and I was surprised that, I'm out in the truck, so I don't necessarily get to hear the fans and all that stuff. It was pretty loud. I mean, there was a fair number of fans there. I mean, that was a great atmosphere.
It was. We talked about it, opening up the top, and we could only have so many in the bottom, and we decided that we want an atmosphere. So kudos to our administration and to the WAC to let that happen and bring that atmosphere for these players and for all the whole WAC conference.
Coach, you mentioned COVID. What was the most challenging part of this year, whether it be not having fans, not being able to do all the travel things that you normally do? What was the most difficult thing?
Just not seeing each other and seeing our families. I hated being the cop of, after a game, hey, sorry, put your mask on, like get, stay distant. And I'm all for that. It was hard. It's just a hard situation to have. And, at the beginning of the year, practicing in pods and their players don't even get to interact with each other as much. And it was a difficult year and a half. And I'm just proud of these players that they sacrificed so much and we all did, and every program did, but we sacrificed. I just know my experience with my team, and they've sacrificed a lot just to get where we are.
Coach, you mentioned when we talked to you last week, you had 5 super seniors back on the team. You call them super seniors,
Yeah.
that they were seniors last year.
But yeah.
Yeah, they came back. And in this tournament, seemed that experience really helped you guys, and especially Carly Nance. I mean, she was the MVP last time we had a tournament. She's MVP again. I think she only had a couple home runs coming in, and she hits, I think, 3 in the tournament. Plus, she was an ace on the mound, and it just seemed like that veteran leadership really helped you guys this week.
We peaked at the right time. We said it all year that we just got to peak at the right time and just keep working and stay together. The mantra of the last 3 weeks is what really happened was, I think we were at Tarleton after we lost to Tarleton. We all kind of looked at each other and said, we have to do this together. And that was kind of every time we break a huddle, it's together. And it wasn't like it was you could just feel that they meant it. And our leadership has been awesome. And those super seniors, man, they carried us. And Carly is a big time player, and she's fought through some injuries. And at the beginning of the year, we didn't even know if she was going to pitch at all this year. And then we did some things to try to manage her and we tried to build it to now. And now she's, when she's in the competition mode, there's no one better around that, she just goes out there and competes.
In the game against New Mexico State, you jumped out to a pretty decent lead, 7-1. How much did you rely on those seniors to keep the team very level-headed to just make sure that you would win the game?
We all knew. It was funny because I didn't say much. Like the game before, I got kicked out, so I didn't get to do anything. And this one, they did it themselves. I was just basically a fan. They were on it. They were talking to each other and like, hey, don't give up. They're going to come back on us. Or keep the foot on the gas. Let's keep fighting. Keep doing what we're doing. And the seniors really led us to that victory and to the championship for sure.
Coach, another key component from this past weekend was the defense, in particular on that championship Saturday. I believe you had 3 turn double plays, and I just saw a little while ago that Lily Garcia's fantastic double play was recognized by the NCAA softball as the number 4 softball play of the week. So your defense seems to be really coming together right now.
Yeah, we're peaking at the right time at that too. Like we've been working on our defense, and I know we have some offense. We got some speed, and we've been working really hard of setting a tone in practice. And Lily's play was, like I told her, was one in the 16 years I've been coaching this sport, is probably one of the best plays I've ever seen with my eyes, and just the instincts of that. And it was very Jeter-like. It was very like unbelievable athleticism. I just saw it was a rank 4. I was like, wow, that's pretty low. Like I was getting mad at my SID who was just on Brian that should be on Sports Center. I mean, that was just an amazing, just instinctive play. And we have it where it's slowed down, and man, it looks sweet. It was just a sweet play. It was awesome.
Coach, I wish everybody could see the big smile that you've had multiple times on this call. How proud are you of this team?
Very proud. My wife always tells me I need to smile more, because it's just it's just my face. It's just what it is. I have my dad's face. But yeah, it's been fun. It's just been it's gratifying to see those players go through what the pandemic and go through this, and not have a season last year, and have our administration have our back to bring those super seniors back, and to have that moment of holding up the trophy for them that's what makes me smile for sure.
Well, Coach, I know you always say a key component of your team is toughness. So maybe smiling and being tough don't equate. Is that part of why you don't smile as much?
No, I mean, it's just my personality. I'm a fun-loving guy. It's just I come off as kind of rigid and all that, but my players know that I love them, and I'll do anything for them. And we've come a long ways with this program, and it's due to those 6 seniors and the upperclassmen that got us here, and the people, all the alumni that supported us, and the people that started, even Izzy, who's on my staff now, who was on my first team, how proud she was to be a part of this and see how this has grown. It's been fun for sure.
You'll play Michigan in the next game. As you've scouted them, I'm sure you've taken a look. What makes them such a dangerous opponent?
Well, Coach Hutch is a icon. If I can do a quarter of what she's done for this sport, I've done something. She's an amazing. I've coached against her many times, and they're just well coached. I mean, their coaching staff has been together for 20 plus years, longer than I've been in the sport. And they do it the right way. They have great pitching. They have speed. They have power. They have it all. So we have our work cut out, but we're ready for them. We'll prepare. We have a practice tonight, and we'll prepare for them. And one thing I know about my team is we're gonna get after it, and we're gonna fight, and whatever happens.
The Redhawks will play Michigan this Friday. They'll be in the Seattle Regional, so that's kind of handy in terms of travel, as the University of Washington hosting that, and then Portland State being the 4th team in that. Having that experience, Coach, from 2 years ago, which also was at the University of Washington, and getting a win, what do you tell your team this week as you get ready for those NCAA playoffs?
Same thing that we always do. Just go out there and let's get after it, and fight every inning, every pitch. It doesn't really, that was kind of our mantra together. We weren't, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about winning more. These last 3 to 4 weeks has been about the process about us. It's not about what they're doing. Whoever's in that other dugout, we can't control what they're doing, but we can control what we're doing. And they've really bought into just, let's control what we control, and get after it, and give all our energy, and be a star at our role, and see what the scoreboard will take care of itself.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for hopping on with us. Congratulations again on the WAC championship, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, and thanks for everything that you guys did up here in Seattle for the tournament.
Thank you, Coach. That is Geoff Hirai, head softball coach at Seattle University. And thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of the WAC Podcast.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And check out our website at wacsports.com.